So guys, before we start this training, I want to clarify the term cloud first. Because this is a training of Windows Azure, we need to figure out what is cloud. When I ask this question to anyone, most of the time people answer that cloud is something which is a server. Sometimes they answer that it is a server which is having some computing facilities inside that. And sometimes people say that it is a server on which we can host different kind of things. There are a number of answers. So before I move forward in my video series, I want you to understand the term cloud, and especially how this cloud term is connected with Microsoft Azure, or what people call Windows Azure. If I talk about the common definition of cloud, it's an approach of computing that's about having the right resource at the right time and connecting to a variety of devices and endpoint. It suggests that cloud is going to have the resource which you want, and even the flexibility of the devices is also there, that you can access the cloud from your phone, tablet, laptop, or some other devices. To understand this properly, I want to take one real life scenario. Assume that you want to go to your office from your home every day, and that's what normally we do. Every day when you go to your office and you come back at the evening. For this, suppose if I give you two options. The first option is you go by your personal car and you reach office. The second option is you take the bus, public transport, and then you reach office. In both the cases, you have to reach office. But the question is, if I ask you that which option you will choose, most of the time when I ask this question to people, they mostly choose car because it's having our own comfort, it's having on-time availability, and there are some other reasons also. But before you decide this thing, I want you to keep these 4 points in your mind. I want you to compare these two in terms of costing, flexibility, risk, and on-time availability. If we compare both of this, the cost required for buying a new car, everyday cost of diesel or petrol, everyday cost of fuel, you need to take a risk of driving yourself, you need a proper driving license, and above all, you need to know the routes of your office and the other places where you want to go. While in the other case, if you take the bus, cost is very less because you just need to buy a pass or a ticket. It is flexible. We can take the bus whenever we want. Risk is very low because we don't need to drive that particular bus by ourselves. A driver is going to do that thing. We just need to sit inside that. In real life scenario, I know majority people choose car. But that's what it's all about. That's why we are discussing the scenario. Because if I compare the car scenario, it is something like you have your own server on premise. Inside your office or somewhere inside your office network, you have your own server inside which everything is hosted. And in the other case, when we are dealing with the public transport, that's very much similar to the cloud. Now if I'm saying this thing, I want you to understand the differences in terms of cloud. If I talk about on-premise, assume that you have your organization inside which you have your own server to host your database, your application things, and the other stuff. When you deal with this on-premise stuff, you have to maintain all the servers by yourself. You have to spend some money buying all these hardwares, networking. You need a special resources as well as you need a manpower who can handle all the servers and who can always maintain this thing. Not only that, you need a proper operating system with number of applications installed inside that, so that we can customize the things we want and our users can get the exact thing whenever they want. In other cases, if I compare this thing with the cloud, we have something in which we do not need to do all of these things. Whatever cost which is required for on-premise, cloud cost is very lesser than that. Whatever efforts and manpower required for on-premise, cloud is having very lesser for that. So this term cloud is allowing you to access all of your resources like your servers, your networking, your applications, your operating systems, everything on time whenever you want and even in any devices. This term is a common term cloud, but in this video series we are going to concentrate about the term Azure, and if I want to explain, I'm going to say Azure is a cloud which is a product of Microsoft. Microsoft has created their own cloud, which is something which is known as Microsoft Azure. And the OS which they have designed for this is Windows Azure. And what's there in this Azure, we need to figure out this thing throughout the series. Thank you.